You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Dallas After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Dallas After Show.
There it is. I missed that song last week. I wasn't here. I apologize, ladies, but I'm here now. We're all here. We are back, and Dallas is back. This is Season 3, Episode 7, Like a Bad Penny, coming to you live from the AFTERBUZZ Studios, or AFTERBUZZ TV Studios in Hollywood, California. I'm AJ Gibson, joined, as always, by Dorinda Barker and Kellie Olisky, the Dream Team.
Yay!
What's up, ladies?
I want to let you know that Kellie and I were so afraid of the comments because you weren't here last week.
No, you girls are great. What? But there were some good ones, I think, actually.
No, yeah, there was, but there was one like.
Thank you guys for bearing with
yes,
us.
Thank you so much. But someone was like, "I missed AJ, but you guys are okay."
So thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you, because we were afraid. I mean,
no
we
one
did it
hosts
once
the
with
show like you, AJ.
You know, here at AFTERBUZZ TV, and particularly on this show, Dallas, we strive for okay. So thank you for that. Please go ahead and go on iTunes, give us 2.5 stars. We'd appreciate it. Yeah, awesome. No, it's good to be back. All three of us are actually here tonight, which is nice.
Well, before you guys start,
hey.
because we got some nice little feedback going on, do you guys mind just wiggling your mics there on the bottom?
Absolutely, I'll wiggle. Oh, that was me. You know, well, sometimes all I have to do is wiggle it to keep it quiet. All right, let's dig in.
That's what she said.
Let's wiggle away. That's what he said. Bobby and Ann. All right, Bobby and Ann start off. They're at the insane asylum or whatever it was, and they're trying to meet with the doctor to get Sue Ellen released. The doctor says that, obviously she's a danger to herself. It's not up to her. It's up to a judge. And then it pans to Sue Ellen, surrounded by a bunch of crazy folk. I felt like it was like an episode of American Horror Story Asylum.
Ooh, yeah.
With a touch of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
Nest. Yes, with a touch of that as well.
Yes.
And a touch of our after show, to be honest.
Yes, that's true.
They show all the picking at their skin.
It breaks my heart. Well, I didn't even realize that you guys are all going to hate me at home. You're hilarious. I got it. You guys are going to hate me at home. I haven't watched last week's episode yet.
I can't believe it.
I know, I missed it, and I didn't realize it until I sat down to watch this episode. I was like, wait, what?
It's the episode of all episodes that AJ's been wanting to see.
I know. That's what we said last week, because this is the episode AJ needs to see.
And I've still not seen it.
I can't believe it.
There are two things in the world that you all know I want to happen dearly. One is for Sue Ellen to fall off the wagon and just get wasted. Done. Happened. Number 2, Victoria Principal. I have to bring it up at least once every episode. She will be back someday. I promise you. In my heart. No, so it's poor Sue Ellen, right? She's in the loony bin.
Actually, I mostly feel bad for John Ross about that whole thing. And you have to watch the episode to get it. But what he did was absolutely out of control, and it was overreactive for sure, and it was pretty much selfish. We all know that. He needs the vote, and that was kind of
So you feel bad for him.
But I feel bad for him, and it shows through in this episode of how everybody's just pinning his personality being JR, and he's trying so hard to fight it. And in the last episode, he actually didn't do the wrong thing. He did the right thing.
One time. And you feel bad for him?
One time.
I know, but that doesn't mean she goes to the loony bin. That's ridiculous.
No, but just like the way that she was projecting at him and not even listening to him, and she was kind of focusing her relationship with JR at him and Pamela. And it was more of herself projecting than it was actually looking out for him and looking at his situation.
I'm sorry, wait, what is her name in the booth again? I'm so sorry. Our first night together. Roya, could you just mute her for the rest of the night? You're crazy!
Come on!
Dorinda, what do you think?
Okay, here's my...
If you agree with her, I'm walking out. Go.
My thoughts on this is that John Ross has gone to her other times, and it has backfired on her every other time that, the governorship. Remember that? She was like...
She almost won, but then she didn't.
And then because she was helping her son, look what happened. All of these things. So now, how is I really honestly think that she's trying to protect Pamela, but also trying to protect Pamela from the life that she had.
Oh, sure. She's totally projecting right now.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But she has a right to.
I'm not saying she doesn't. I'm just looking at it from the other side of the coin.
I like that you're looking
Like
at
a
it
bad
from
penny.
Like a bad penny.
Okay, well,
Yes.
fair enough. What were you going to say, Dorinda?
That makes sense, like a bad penny.
Yeah, I still have no clue what the F it means, but whatever.
I think exactly what you just said.
I'm
You summed up the whole
saying.
episode. Okay, great, guys. Good night.
Thanks for stopping by. This is okay. Fair. I mean, that does actually
I
make sense.
know
I guess.
most people are not going to agree with me, but I mean, I'm watching the struggle, and we saw it even with the watch how it's an albatross and all of that. It's kind of goes
Albatross.
back to the same thing.
The struggle is real. The struggle is real. So
I
we've
feel
got
so bad for you, John Ross.
well, speaking of John Ross, we've got
Hashtag
John Ross fires Candace, who tried
Yeah.
to get the bodily fluids on the dress last week. She tried to pull a Monica Lewinsky on him,
Yep.
and it backfired. Then he goes to Bum, asks Bum to check into her because that's what everybody does when they need some information, right? They go to Bum, and he says, "I love this because first of all, John Ross is looking good this season. I'll be really embarrassed if he actually comes on our show at some point because I've been saying a lot about him all year because he's really hot. Like he looks really great
Yeah, he doesn't look like a child anymore.
at all. He looks like a man,
Yeah.
and he's acting like a man, which I think is what's even sexier about him. He stepped into the role of like the main villain now,
Yeah, he's
kind
got
of.
swag.
Yeah, for sure.
Lots of
And he says, and I quote, "I'm cute, but I'm not that cute." I like that. That's kind of funny.
I like that too.
And what did he say also about a woman who comes too hard? Like,
Yeah.
too, you know,
Well,
he was.
a woman who comes too hard. Finish that sentence, Dorinda. Please finish that sentence at home, everyone. Let us know. Tweet us.
I have not broke down in laughter like I really.
You're welcome, because your show was boring without me. I'm just kidding. It was
was, it
fun. No, I'm
was.
sure it was a lot of
We
fun.
had fun. We had fun.
No, it wasn't.
And I was to let you all know I was a little buzzed on our show last week because the show I do before this, which is Bar Rescue, we had a guest on and she made drinks with mangria and tequila,
yes.
and then I was a little wasted.
And
so
also,
I was like
besides,
Sue Ellen.
in addition to that, you're also an alcoholic, so there's that,
exactly.
Sue Ellen.
totally
All right.
related to the show last episode.
Hey, look, I'm the one who went to church drunk, remember? Emma Bell. She likes to remind me, hashtag, what, church to, or bar to church? Hashtag bar to church. That's what she tweets.
Oh, I like that one. She started
Hi, Emma.
one. Hashtag
So-
Bar to Church.
Yeah.
Well, tonight we're hashtagging Dressgate, right?
Yes, Dressgate.
Dressgate.
Hashtag
Hashtag it.
Dressgate. Do it. We're going to start
Hashtag.
it.
Hashtag
could be
your
the only
mic
three
is
people
still
who do it.
making feedback. Hashtag.
Mine? Oh, I'll just
Hashtag.
wiggle it. Oh, hey.
Oh, it might not be you.
It's not me.
Kelly, maybe you.
No.
Dorinda.
Is it
Oh.
'cause
It's
your phone is too
Dorinda!
close? Your phone is too close.
It was Dorinda the whole time.
Unplug it for me. Sorry, guys. Sorry for listeners and fans. We love you.
We don't-
We're
no.
having technical
I
difficulties
muted
right
yours.
now.
We don't
Please
have
hold.
those.
Unplug it.
Listeners or fans. Oh, Dorinda, you're so aggressive with it. I dread to just stick it in. Okay. Oh, I felt that over here.
There we go.
It's like a 3.6 or Dorinda just plugged in her mic. I'm not sure. Southern California.
That's where I get the boys to stay.
Oh no, we're
Anyway.
getting tweets. We're getting tweets. Oh,
Okay, that's it.
so
Okay, that's it. We stopped, guys.
now
'cause
we've got
forget about
Elena,
it.
right? She's watching John Ross and Emma on her computer, watching them do the deed. Drew calls her. He feels guilty about what happened last year with the babies. Hashtag dead babies. I keep doing that. I gotta stop it. And then he wants to turn himself in, right? He's struggled with this all season. He keeps-
Yes.
He calls every now and then from the compound. And then Elena tells Joaquin, Nicolas Trevino, and he's nervous. He's nervous that, Drew's going to come turn himself in and he's going to blow their plans, which is a fair thing to be nervous about, yeah?
It is, but there's
But we already
everybody
know how I
lies,
feel
so.
about Trevino.
Okay, look at you two right now. I just picture how wonderful the show must have been last week. You guys are like that. Remember on SNL they used to do the coffee talk or whatever?
Oh, let's
Dorinda's like-
Richmond.
Yeah, Dorinda's like, and you're over here like,
That's exactly how it went back and forth all last episode.
That's the whole episode.
What did you think? Yeah.
With a
Moving
little
right
bit of
along.
giggles here and there.
So then we've got Pamela. She goes to John Ross's office. She's going to work with the sheik. Oh, he wants to work with the sheik from Abu Dhabi,
Yes.
completing a deal that his father JR had agreed to, but that JR had not, or John Ross had not followed up with for a while, for maybe a couple of different reasons. Maybe he wanted a larger piece of the pie. Wanted to see if he could get the deal done alone, or not. I don't know. Am I wrong right now?
No, I think you're right, but if
You almost said wrong. I think you're right. Did you have bar rescue tonight before this again?
I did, but we
Oh.
didn't drink tonight. But my point is if he knew that he could go to this, why didn't he? Like if you knew that this was gonna actually not bring tension to the family, why not do this?
Because he wanted more money. Because he could get the deal with Ryland by using Emma and get get the
And
whatever.
then he didn't have to use his dad. He could have just been on his own.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. I think when he
you're
talked
right.
about it at the poker table, I think he was telling the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that because when he did it, there was no blinking, there was no nothing. It was
I think he was being honest.
He didn't blink.
no.
You're so observant. So they decided to go see the Sheik in Vegas. Because that's where Sheiks go when they come to the United States. Vegas.
High stakes poker.
Absolutely.
Wait. Okay, yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
I know I'm right. Oh, Dorinda. Okay, so we've got Christopher and Elena together. Elena gives Christopher the docs about Javier Hernandez. That's what Hernandez. This whole episode is so funny because everyone has envelopes, large envelopes with documents in them, right?
And then an orange
And then
folder.
in an orange folder. I think we need. Yeah, they sent some PA out to buy some envelopes, and they all use the same ones the entire episode. No, I think that I really after this episode, I want to walk around with big envelopes, and just hand them to people. Like when I get in a fight with somebody, be like, take a look at that. I just walk out of the room. There'll be empty envelopes, but just take a look at that, and just shut them the f down and walk out.
Because they'll all be like,
Because it'll mess with their heads, and then by the time you're out of the room, you're going to save face, and they're going to be like, what the hell? They're going to be like, this person's crazy. And then they're going to be like, is this a symbol, a sign for something? Is this is there some subliminal message hidden in this?
is there something happening?
Yeah.
And then they'll steam it to see if it's invisible.
Okay, now you've been watching too much Veronica Mars recently, apparently.
I did watch the movie.
Did you? Was it good?
It was good. It was Veronica Mars.
I love Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell needs to be on Dallas. That needs to happen. So, I'm not schizophrenic at all. Christopher still loves Elena. You can tell by the way he's looking at her, the way he talks to her. He asks if she really has feelings for Nicholas Trevino. And she says, I do. Which I thought was a little bit, she said the words, I do. Not yes. She said, I do. Foreshadowing.
And he says, I thought giving you this job was going to bring us closer together, but it's, actually brought us further or taken us further apart.
Yeah.
Which was sad. I felt bad for Christopher right there.
But see, that's what bothers me about his relationship with Heather. Because she's totally the rebound chick.
Why is he putting it to Heather right now then?
Because she's the rebound
And
chick.
she has a kid, and he's trying to
and he wants to recreate the life he thought he was going to have.
I don't think he really likes her. And I said this last week too. I genuinely like her character and her storyline aside from him.
Yes.
That it's real life, it's real struggles. It seems more realistic than the Ewings and all of their
He's
crap.
trying to move on from the hashtag dead babies. Is what he's trying to do.
Yeah, but he's trying to insert himself in someone else's life.
Well, he's trying to insert himself in her, and he's successful at that. So, congratulations, Christopher.
Yes, but I just feel bad for her because I don't think he really likes her. Not the way that I think she likes him.
I think there's lust there right now.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
I think he's a little bit broken right now.
Comfort
more so,
and lust.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen him or Pamela mourn.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, they're tough.
And we need to see them mourn.
I mean, we saw her a little bit when she was kind of secluded by herself, and John Ross went and kind of got her out of the darkness.
Oh yeah, there was that.
There was that. I mean,
but
we saw her more so than we saw him, but we did see him kind of go through that tonight when he saw Drew.
Well, he stopped caring about his appearance. He just started growing his facial hair out. So maybe that's this morning.
Yeah, and then 12 hours later.
Yeah, right. No, I love that you mentioned Heather. I really like her character. I really think that Annalyn McCord is doing a great job with this role. She hasn't been given a lot yet, but she's playing a softer side than she ever played in 90210 or Nip Tuck or other things I've seen her in. Yeah. She always plays the sexy vixen, and it's very one-dimensional.
Or deviant.
Yeah, a crazy ass bitch usually. Yeah. But in this, she's getting to play a softer side, a young mother who's a struggling single mother, and I kind of like seeing it. And she does look great as a brunette.
She really does.
She looks really good.
Yeah, she looks younger as a brunette for some reason. But then we find out Drew smuggles himself in the back of a truck, which is brilliant. Why have no illegal immigrants ever thought of that before? How do they get through? Really? A secret wall in the back of a truck?
That was awesome. But I said, how did he get himself off the compound?
I know, right?
I don't think he was a prisoner there, though.
He's always peeking out windows.
They're so afraid of him coming back.
Trevino would not let.
There was no way. That's my whole thing. Even though you're not a prisoner, it's honestly, they don't want him back here.
They're surrounded by drug cartel with automatic weapons.
Yeah. What does he say? I'm going to go out for cigarettes and just not come back?
Yeah, they probably have a cigarette factory, an illegal cigarette factory on the compound. You know they do.
Maybe his wife let him out.
His what? Lucia?
To cause issues.
Oh, Kellie. coaster. That's
Because
good.
you remember, she gave him that ultimatum, and we haven't seen her in a while. I can't imagine she's just kind of sulking in Mexico by herself.
No, she is
I don't
not.
think she's not a dumb cookie.
Something has to be cooking on
What the
that
hell
side.
is a dumb cookie? What does that even mean? A dumb cookie? Do you know a smart cookie?
Yeah, well, they're smart.
Oh, there are smart cookies. That is so weird. I've never heard somebody say dumb cookie. Wow.
I'm making it mine.
That's actually kind of good. Hashtag dumb cookie.
That's a new one for the
Hashtag
night.
Dressgate. So now we got Ryland reminding Candace she's a whore, which was I thought was very gentlemanlike of him.
Of course, as we know him to be.
Yeah,
Because I'm going to have to go live with my parents again. That's what she says. Go.
and be a hooker once again. He's upset because she didn't get the semen on the dress. She didn't pull the Lewinsky. So he reminds her she's a whore, tells her he's going to take back her car keys and her apartment keys. Okay. This is what the men of Dallas have never, ever learned. We talk about this. There was an episode titled as Hell Hath No Fury, like a woman scorned. Don't piss off girls, especially young girls, like hot young girls, because here's what. Okay, I don't date men because I just love men, which I do. I date men because girls are effing crazy. That's why I really date men, especially young ones. Yes, you can leave me some messages about that. Please tweet me _AJ Gibson. Let me know how you feel about that comment. But
Especially young girls with money and unlimited resources.
Yes.
Scary.
And so, yeah, it's a bad combination.
Oh,
And
they're crazier than the ones who don't have money.
Yes. Like, he thinks Judith is crazy. This bitch is going to be crazy. Keep paying for her rent, buy off her car. What does that cost to Ryland? What kind of car did he buy her? I mean, I don't understand that. Like, that's just a rookie move on his part, I think.
And he's not a rookie by
At
any
all.
means. There could have. I would have had
Well,
someone
let's think
waiting at the
about this,
apartment.
But if we know that he's not a rookie, then we know that he's probably anticipating she's going to do exactly what she did.
God, you're so much smarter than we are.
So maybe he's counting on the fact that Emma to take this kind of over and just do it herself. Because then when it's her idea, it's kind of that whole, reverse
God, you're so much
stuff.
smarter than I am.
Maybe that's what's going on.
I didn't even think about that. You're coming up with good ones.
Yeah.
Because these people, you're right. These people are not dumb. So.
I took a week off and she's been drunk all season, so you're the sharpest tool in this shed for sure. I like that.
We'll be drunk next episode.
Yeah, let's start drinking next week. Like Sue Ellen, who we're going to talk about now. Sue Ellen gets a visit from Ann because Ann is the only really loyal person to Sue Ann in the world. Well, Bobby is, but Ann's like her ride or die chick for sure.
Oh.
And then
right, but this goes back. Their conversation goes back to what I was saying earlier about my whole thing about feeling bad for John Ross. Is that she goes back and she says she's regretting how she handled the situation, and Anne even tells her, "We thought we were doing what's best. Maybe he is doing the right thing. He fired his secretary." But her response back is, "He is his father's son. I can't deny that." And it's again labeling him that.
Yeah.
And it goes to show, just like he said at the end of the last episode, which you have to see is if you hear something enough, you start to believe it.
You're on fire tonight. I'm a little bit nervous right now. You're trying to take my seat. Like, do you want? Like, should I just leave?
No, I don't know. I'm just like I was paying attention tonight.
You're better because of me.
You make me better.
You complete me.
Oh wow.
I hurt you.
Yeah, that makes sense though. I like that. I like that. Ooh, this show's deeper than I thought. Or the writers. I feel like the writers of Dallas have no idea what they're doing, and they watch our show every week, and they're like, "Oh, wow, let's write that into it. Let's try that angle."
Yes, we are directing.
If they listen to us.
Yes, they have to.
Well, Dallas TNT follows me on Twitter. So.
Really?
Oh yeah, they
do.
follow me on Twitter
So
too.
maybe
Do they not follow you?
I don't know if I follow Dallas TNT on Twitter. I don't know.
Oh, you better regulate.
Well, yeah, if they're following us, they're definitely following you.
Yeah.
You girls, you guys are so good for my ego. That was like the most complimentary thing you've ever said in the last 3 minutes. You guys compliment me a lot. I love it.
We missed you.
I missed you.
did.
Let's be real honest. I come to the show still. I drive my ass all the way out here on a Monday night because I love our fans.
I know.
But mostly because I love
it's
Dorinda
not-
and Kelly.
Well, yeah, we do. We talked about it.
Yeah.
We did talk about it. If one goes,
We're all out.
Yeah,
We're
it's
all
like
jumping ship.
It's like Friends.
Yes.
And it's such a great show. It's so fun to sit here and
Yeah.
dissect it.
One day
and
we're all
get the
going to walk out
different
of here and we're going to put our keys right here one at a time and just walk out like friends. So we've got Emma offering Candace a new job. And then Candace says, she finds out through this conversation that Candace was working for her dad. And she's not happy about that.
And Candace says it so matter-of-factly that she thought she knew.
Oh, yeah.
That's the crazy
I don't think it was on
part.
purpose.
Yeah.
there was nothing about, because she just said, well, I work for your dad. And she was like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Shit.
yeah. And Candace, I don't think is that smart to be
Did you just
honest.
call her Kansas? Let's call her Kansas.
Candace.
So then we've got John Ross and Pamela in Vegas with Prince Nasser. Prince Nasser. He is the Sheik's son, correct? He says that his father feels disrespected, that his father knows JR and had a long relationship with him, but he knows that, like we said, the only reason they're trying to work with them now is because they couldn't get the deal without them. So not cool. He looks to John Ross and said, "You brought dishonor to your father's name." Once again, we're seeing John Ross deal with this like pressure of being JR's son, which I think is brilliant that they're playing on this season because they have to.
It goes back to why I feel so bad for him. Not too bad.
He's still an a-hole.
No,
No,
listen, let me tell you.
And he is, but...
When Dorinda gets her finger up, you know she has something she really needs
If
to say.
he really doesn't want to be in JR's shadows or footsteps or whatever it is he doesn't want to be in, then don't be part of Ewing Global.
Yes.
Well, like no, there's no way that would happen either because it's ingrained in you too. So I think it's kind of a 50-50 split.
I think
Then
the same
you gotta
thing.
live with
the
it.
same thing is happening
Which
with
is what
him.
he's doing,
Yeah,
but
but-
it doesn't mean I can't feel compassionate for him. Stop it.
Okay, Kelly.
I mean,
All right, I get it.
he's easy to look at, but he's also easy to
I
be
mean, I'm
angry
sorry.
with.
We can't always feel sorry for whiny Christopher all the time. I mean, come on.
Oh, wait, I never feel sorry for Christopher. I have no emotions about him.
I only felt bad for him with the whole Drew thing. Like
You hear-
tonight, that was and
kind of.
actually he
That was
you
a
know
good
what,
scene.
Jesse Metcalf, kudos.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
Great scene. And his acting was.
That's when we
on
saw
point.
some of his mourning come out.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he was finally dealing with that when he ran into Drew.
I'm gonna be honest though. Like, I mean, I think I go in and out of it with his character with Christopher. I care about him one moment, and the next minute I think he's a whiny brat.
I feel like they make him a little bit too
Yeah.
needy, and does it go back to the whole adoption thing,
Yeah.
or what is his deal that they always make him whiny? And even after all of that happens, when he goes to Heather's and all of a sudden he wants, "You're my second chance for a family," slow your roll, boy.
Yeah, for
Pump
sure.
the
Where did
brakes.
that come from?
Slow
That was
it
like out
down.
of left field. And once again, that has nothing to do with the actor himself. That's just what
No.
Yeah,
he's
that's
been
what-
given.
what's been written
Yeah,
for him.
and
Because we've seen time and time again, he can handle the heavy stuff.
oh,
He's
Yeah,
done it.
no, he's been doing really, really good, even better this
You know what I
season.
think they need to do? They need to bring on. Oh gosh, you guys are going to have to help us out. Maybe if you guys know Bobby's other son.
That's what people were tweeting and leaving us
Oh,
comments
yeah.
about too.
Yeah.
That would be great.
What's
'cause
his
he's the
son's name? Do you
actual
remember?
blood relative. Was it Lucas?
yes, I think it's
Lucas, yeah.
Because they bring him in, that just changes a whole new
Especially
perspective on
because he
things.
is a blood Ewing.
Oh,
Yes.
then we're gonna bring up the adoption thing again.
Yes.
There's gonna have to be a cow board
Well, I know,
again.
I know, right? I know some people on Twitter have been complaining a little bit that they're kind of just rehashing all these old storylines and recycling them over and over again. But I think that they're doing it with a pretty fresh take. I think that if there is a show that could do it, it's Dallas, because they've done everything. Like every storyline you can imagine, they've already
Right.
done.
And it actually goes down the family line.
Yeah.
I mean, even now with the whole Hunter McCoy situation, his grandfather was fighting with JR, and
Yeah.
now it's going back to him. Now he wants to take, and
Yep.
it just keeps going back and forth,
Yeah.
which I think is kind of cool.
I do too. 'Cause no other show can do that.
No.
Nothing on
And
TV.
it's just getting like more scandalous each time
Yes.
because now the cartel's involved. And
Yes.
now it's just getting nuts.
The only show that can do that is The Young and the Restless. I have to bring it up once a week. I don't even watch the show anymore, but I do bring it up every single week. So, moving on, we've got Drew finds Christopher in the parking garage. He tries to apologize to him. Christopher proceeds to beat the shit out of Drew.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then this scene was really touching, I thought. There started to be flashbacks from the explosion on the oil rig.
Yeah.
And as he's hitting him, like, he keeps thinking of seeing Pamela lying there and the babies are dying and everybody's like there's explosions and everybody's like cut and scraped and whatever, and Christopher is just losing his mind, finally letting out probably a lot of the anger that he's been holding on to since he lost his #deadbabies. And but I'm thinking, she's giggling, I'm thinking that he's gonna kill him. I thought he was gonna kill him and throw him in the trunk.
Once again, a moment I wish you guys could honestly have watched us watch this show tonight, because you're like, no, because then you just ruined everything for you, Christopher. It's not even about Drew anymore.
Yeah.
You're ruining your life.
And in a special treat tonight, we're gonna have Kellie and Dorinda reenact that scene in just a moment. So stick around for that.
It's about to get real in here.
Yes, Dorinda will be playing the role of Christopher. Watch out, Kellie. Uh-oh.
Why do I have to be the Mexican?
Well, I don't know what the hell Olisky is. I'm pretty sure Barker's not Mexican. Olisky could be. It could be any number of things. What is your last name?
It's Polish.
Well,
I'm actually a Polish Mexican.
Well, there you go. That's why. Perfect.
I have to let you know that's a first.
Yeah, yes.
That is a
I'm a
big
Polish
first.
Mexican. My mom is Mexican. My dad's Polish.
That is. I'm not gonna make a Polish sausage joke right now. I'm not gonna do it.
So that just means I'm double. Like, don't mess with me.
Yeah, don't mess with
No.
A Mexipole.
you. A Mexipole.
Anyway, moving on.
So then,
That's awesome.
Christopher leaves Drew by the car, drives to Heather's place.
It basically says you need to live with this.
Yes. I have to live with it. So do you. But then he goes to Heather's place and made the comment about I wanted, like you said, a shot of the family. And she's like, "Well, maybe this is my opportunity to give you this." And I'm like, "What are you talking about right
You guys
now?"
have been on 3 dates.
That's
Calm
crazy.
down.
No, not even on 3 dates. He's been inside her once in a hayloft, and he played Legos with her kid.
And then took her to Gillie's.
Yeah.
Well, I'm being nice by saying 3
yeah.
dates.
A marriage and a family that does not make. Like, I don't understand.
But that's what I'm saying. It's definitely a rebound situation for both of them.
Yeah,
I think.
boing, for sure.
Yeah.
Because she's dealing with
That
all
was
the
my rebound
issues
sound.
with Bo. And Bo shows
Oh.
up drunk. He misses his wife. He wants his family back. And then he sees Christopher messing up everything.
I can't. I don't know. It makes me not respect him at all. Yeah, because Bo shows up drunk, and I liked him in that moment though. He drove him home.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought that was cool.
And actually, when he's giving him the speech the next morning, in the morning,
Yeah.
I
I
thought
thought
that
that
was
was
good. And that's where he has that where he switches. You like him, and then it's a little too
Well,
much.
he's definitely Bobby's son.
Yeah.
Bobby's a little tougher though, but he's got that soft side to him.
And that's what that scene was for.
Mm-hmm.
To show
Yeah.
you that this is Bobby's son.
Because next week his real son is going to come on the show. Probably. Why not? That will
But
be
I
like the
never felt
cliffhanger.
that Bobby was so whiny though. There's just something about some of his reactions to things.
Get
that
your
just
boobies off
bother
of the
me.
mic, Dorinda. Your boobies are the one making the mic make noises. There we go. Keep your boobies off. No, hashtag boobies off. Okay, so we're just going to have to talk louder. Talk over it. Okay, there. Don't move. Don't move. Then Emma goes to Ryland to ask him about Candace. And then he calls her a little piece on the side, which I thought was really sweet and loving as a father. I wish my dad would call me that sometime. And then he shows her pics of John Ross getting fellatio from a teenager.
But he wasn't. Remember when those pictures were taken?
Kind
It was
of.
all a setup.
But I thought she kind of got on it for a minute.
No,
He zipped
she
it
was
back up.
No,
She
she's
was
too
trying to,
smart.
but he wouldn't let it. That's when he was waiting to get that stuff on the governor or the senator or the
Are you sure she didn't get some?
commission. No, she was like trying to undress him, and
She ain't like
it
lick
w-
her lips or nothing?
no,
nothing
they just took photos to make it look like that, but
Oh.
they didn't actually get anywhere with him.
Oh, and in a special treat a little bit later on, we're going to be reenacting that scene as well. Ladies, I've got my camera ready. We could totally do that. Let's reenact scenes like our favorite scenes from Dallas. That's going to be so good. We're doing that next week.
That's for the season finale.
We're going to have Emma Bell come back in for like the season finale and have her put on the green lingerie.
Yeah, perfect.
Skanky hoe. Speaking of, no. Then moving on, we've got John Ross and Pamela. They go to the poker game because John Ross does not take no for an answer, which I like about him. They go to the poker game. Real quick pause. Pamela, Julie Gonzalo looked hot as hell. in
That
that dress.
Loved her dress.
Can we just take a minute and talk about that dress?
Loved it.
Yeah, I mean the
Hot.
black and the white,
Every-
it's very slimming. Like she's already so slender,
Yeah.
but she looks stunning in that dress.
Great dress.
Yeah, in the way her hair, the earrings,
Yes.
everything.
Catherine the Great's earrings, her
Oh.
emeralds.
My favorite comment of AJ's while we were watching the show is that she gets Catherine the Great's earrings and the little side chick gets that
Yeah,
necklace
the-
from.
Yeah, the side piece on the side gets that damn red necklace. I'm like, really?
She gets that stone
Yeah.
on like a piece of twine.
Like twine. That's balanced. If you can't figure out which one
The
he's into,
side
yeah.
chick always gets the better present.
Not this time.
But I'm thinking, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking those earrings. Did John Ross give them to her?
No,
I
no,
think-
actually, no.
I think her dad
those,
did, right?
Yeah, Cliff Barnes gave those to her because
Yes.
remember when he was trying to win her back?
Right.
And he
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Who knew?
But
Catherine the
still, it
Great.
was still funny.
Yeah.
Funny, like in a sad sort of way, because they were beautiful earrings.
Yeah.
So then Christopher calls to ask about Drew. He's checking up on him right now. He goes, that's because he wants to make sure he's okay. Again, the soft side of him.
Yeah.
But he calls the sheriff to look for him, though, doesn't he?
Well, I think he just wants to see if he's alive, if he's turned himself in, like see
Yeah.
what's going on with him. I think part of him is like wants to kill him, but part of him is kind of curious to make sure he's still okay.
Well, I mean, he's still a good person deep down. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like we said, Bo shows up. and he shows up at the house, and Christopher says that, okay, this line to me, I don't have kids. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I don't. If somebody said this to me and my kid was involved, this would set me off. Bo tries to charge when he sees that Christopher's at the house with Heather, and Michael, the son, is in bed, and Christopher says to him, "Settle down, you're going to wake up Michael." Ooh. You do not say that to the parent of a child when you're like banging the other parent. Like that. Ooh, that one was hard for me. I'm like, that if I were Bo, I would lose my shit.
Well, he did.
Yeah, well, of course he did.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, though. I feel for Bo, though, in this moment. Like, he's like, first of all, your Ewing's had to take my job. Now you take my family as well. I mean, that's tough.
It is tough, but also on the other side of it, look at what he's doing and how he's handling it.
Yeah, not
so
like a
he's
man.
not being a man. He's not being a grown-up about it.
Yeah, he's a drunk. He needs to hang out with Sue Ellen. They should hang out.
Well, and he's the drug dealer. He was the one messing around with Emma.
Yeah,
Like,
he was Emma's drug dealer.
He was her, provider.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's not forget. He's got
Her provider. Say it like he's like Anthem Blue Cross or something.
In some ways.
He was her pharmacist.
Well, there you have it. Nicholas Trevino wants Elena to send the video to Pamela when he finds out about the video. She won't do it. She doesn't want to hurt her like that. She thinks there's a way to win this battle without going down that path, right? Well, she's got a heart. He doesn't. He calls the guy. Was it Jasper? No, who was it?
Yeah, Jasper. It's actually a girl.
A girl, yeah. Again, I wasn't here last week. So he calls Jasper and says, we actually accidentally deleted the file or something. Can you please send it? But this time, send it to my email. First of all, who's dumb enough to fall for that? I would be. I would totally send it. I'd send it to anybody.
I would have been like, well, let me talk to Elena first.
Yeah, for sure. This is interesting because I think we've all kind of been saying it all season. Elena will not stay on the bad side of this. She will take the side of the Ewings again at some point. And this is all kind of pushing her that way. And Christopher and Elena will get back together. Trevino right now is playing her. She doesn't realize he's still with his wife. She also doesn't realize that he's going behind her back and now doing this stuff. She's gonna find out, and it's not gonna work out well for them. The Ewings always come out on top.
No, and then plus now what he's doing to Drew.
Yeah. Not
Now-
yes,
now
exactly.
yeah.
Well, because let's jump ahead to that really quickly. So Nicholas meets with the drug cartel at the end of the episode. Do you want to let that out just yet?
Wait, because we got to talk about Drew finding the paperwork.
Let's talk
Yes.
about that first.
Yeah.
You're right. God, see, this is why we're a team. This is why we are a team. This
There's
is why
so much good stuff.
This is why you're boring as F without me and why I'm lost without you. So, John Ross loses the poker game on purpose. He's playing Prince Nasser. They let him into the game. He loses. He's got the Prince has a full house. John has 4-8s. 4 of a kind beats full house.
always.
But he folds, even though after he went all in, and the Prince was like, "We don't have enough money." Well, he put down JR's watch. And he actually won, but folded. So, obviously, he's got an ulterior motive here. Yeah. He's trying to show them that what they think he was showing was that he's humble enough to admit defeat, but still has the balls to like go for it. What he was trying to show them was, look, I can lose, and I'm so sorry. I'm willing to lose this thing that's so important to show you who I am. He was playing them.
Right.
Because that watch didn't mean shit to him.
Yep.
He actually wanted to get rid of it.
Yep.
And hasn't had the balls to just throw it in a river.
And this was a good way to do that.
Yes, it was a way to use the watch to get something out of it and also let go of it at the same time. Didn't work. Well, kind of it did work, but he got the watch back. Christopher then goes to Bo, offers his job back. We covered that already. Then now we go back to the doctor. Okay, so now at this point, Sue Ellen is still in the insane asylum, correct?
Yes.
The doctor still not sure about releasing Sue Ellen, but she lets Bobby and Ann know that it is up to her now. That it's up to the hospital now, not the judge, right?
Yes,
Am I correct?
You're right. We're going to let her out, but they have to take care of her.
Yeah, well, she says she's a danger to herself. Bobby fights for her.
And remember, Bobby's fighting for her to get her there so they can vote on the IPO, not necessarily that he wants her out of that place.
I think it's a little bit of both.
It is a little bit of both, but they need her out that day.
Yes.
For the
well, that's why it's such an immediate thing. That's why
because I don't know if they would have rushed her out so quickly.
Yeah, he might have let her just like chill for a couple days, like cooler heels.
She probably really does need the detox, but when there's a vote coming on,
yes, absolutely.
Get out of there.
Absolutely. So Bobby fights for her, and they decide that the agreement is that they're going to move her back to South Fork. To which I responded, she doesn't already live on South Fork? Like, I just thought she's always there, eating empanadas, watching Emma like have sex with John Ross. Like, I thought she lived there. But then I remembered that last season, JR went to her house, remember, and told her she was the love of his life.
Yeah.
And he was a scoundrel. So then, let's get to Drew now. Okay, Drew finds the envelope, another one of these orange envelopes, with the land deeds.
Yeah, because Elena put it in
a box
that says Drew stuff.
Yeah, look, is that smart?
Well, she didn't expect for him to come back.
I guess she didn't expect for him to escape the drug cartel.
And why did anyone think the first place Drew would go is to his home?
Yeah, and then look in a box that says Drew's
Well,
things.
remember she was on the phone with him and she thought that she talked him out of coming because she said she was going to go see him in Mexico.
Yeah.
So she's not thinking that he's going to show up.
Obviously, she's not as persuasive as we thought.
Well, she doesn't know her brother that well, apparently.
Yeah, right. So he finds everything and all of a sudden goes into like a spiral. He goes into a tizzy. He's realizing all this stuff, and he's feeling like now he's a man who feels so guilty, feels like he owes the Ewings everything, that he's willing to turn himself into jail. He's willing to go to jail because of all this that he did to the Ewings. And now he's like, oh, I lost my father for nothing because of you. Yep. My entire family has been ruined because of you. So now he's just...
And he feels betrayed by Elena because how long did she know about that and how much he's been beating himself up about everything.
Yeah.
And she didn't share.
Scary stuff.
And he now feels alone.
He does. Yep. There's no worse way to feel.
So he takes off yet again.
Yet again, yes.
He's a runner, that one.
Yeah, he sure is. He's all over the place, that Drew.
Yeah, he likes to just run away.
Runaway Drew. Hashtag runaway Drew. So, Bobby and Christopher discuss Nicholas Trevino and the findings that he was Hernandez or whatever the guy's name is. Bobby then says, he's like, you know what, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get control of the situation again because that's what Bobby does best.
Yeah.
He's smart about it, though. He's going to call in his buddy who's an underwriter for Goldman Sachs. And because if we know anything about Goldman Sachs from our recent history, is that they're a really reputable company and they're really honest and like good guys.
Exactly.
Perfect. Oil.
Wasn't a big reason,
Ewing's Goldman Sachs. Yeah.
2009.
Exactly. Thank you. So he's going to call his underwriter buddy. So he's going to underwrite the IPO. So at least they have control of who gets to buy the shares.
Yeah.
So they can then be able to get because what's happening now is that this other guy Hunter, who they're bringing on, he's going to set up shell companies to buy shares. Right?
Yeah.
So they can then sell them to this one person in the drug cartel, and they can have control of you in global.
And then launder money and drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
And all that
billions and billions for all eternity, apparently. But what Bobby's trying to do is at least control where the shares are sold, so that he can then have control of like getting them back at some point.
And that's
I'm sure.
I think is going to save Ewing
at the end.
Yeah.
Always. It's always Bobby. Yeah. I'm getting my Twitter is blowing up right now. Oh God, Chris. The whole thing with Chris and the kid, maybe he's going to adopt him. Oh, God, he's not going to adopt him, is he? I'm sorry, I'm reading like Twitter comments from you guys right now. Thank you, K Dallas 91. So that happens, and then Emma goes back to Candace, and she during this episode has been putting 2 and 2 together. Emma Bell puts 2 and 2 together and gets 3. Comes up a little short. She's a cute girl, but she's not the brightest. Emma, the character on the show, she puts 2 and 2 together and she gets 4. She figures it out. She knows that the dress that is in the picture is also the dress that Candace was then wearing. She realizes, like you ladies both said, that why would Ryland try to hire Candace if the girls in the picture had actually done what he said they did? Doesn't make sense, right? So she figures that out, and she goes to her. Then we move back to Bobby. He reveals Bobby reveals Cal and Sue Ellen. What does that mean?
To John Ross. John Ross gets back from Vegas, and they're all there.
Waiting for him to come.
Oh, Cal is the IPO underwriter.
Yes, is the Goldman Sachs guy.
Got it. Cal, the second black man in the history of the new series of Dallas. The sheriff and now him. Get some diversity on the show, people. No, so Cal is an old buddy of Bobby's, right? And John Ross thinks he's got this thing on lockdown, and then all of a sudden Sue Ellen comes stumbling down the stairs, still probably a little bit drunk, looking a little bit hungover. But she's there to vote, right? So neither side has a super majority right now, which isn't that kind of like a political thing. I think they just made that up. Neither side has a super majority right now. They're obviously setting John Ross up. They say, look, this guy is the greatest guy to do the job, blah, blah, blah. And John Ross agrees to it, kind of reluctantly.
Like he actually had to.
Well, yeah, because they're telling him now that Sue Ellen's there, we can drag this out. Or you can just accept Cal and we can start on this tomorrow. What are you going to do?
It's so funny how John Ross always thinks he finally has Bobby where he wants him, and then he doesn't. I love that. Then Emma's crazy ass takes the dress.
Of course she does.
What's she going to do with that dress?
That is like the the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Yes.
This is like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Dress.
Except for I don't think that there was any attempt to get semen on the traveling pants, Dorinda. I have
Hashtag dress game.
Yes, I have seen that movie a few times. I'm pretty sure that didn't happen. America Ferrera, I'm so sorry. So isn't that who was in that?
Yeah. And then the girl who married
Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively.
I don't
Blake
care.
Lively.
I don't
All right,
care.
so I think she's gonna pick
Tell me
up.
why they were able to fit into the same pair of jeans.
Yeah, all
That
of
was the
them.
magic.
Okay,
Yeah.
That was the magic.
okay.
All right, sorry guys.
Got it. So what's she gonna do
Yes,
with this
we've
dress?
all seen that
You
movie.
think she's gonna do some nasty shit like she did with the green lingerie and like?
I think that's gonna be her kind of thing over John Ross, her blackmail over him,
Yeah.
because she has the photo, she has the dress. Because she doesn't like being his little side piece, and she knows deep down he's not going to leave Pamela.
Yep.
And she needs to have some leverage.
She is gonna pull a Monica Lewinsky.
I think she might.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen.
I think she needs some more power.
She's shady.
She is.
I
That's
love
for
her.
sure.
I love her.
That is for
Oh
sure.
gosh. Okay. So what were you gonna say?
She is really gonna go after what she wants. Then.
Yeah. I like it. She's not a little girl anymore.
No, she's not. She's
Crazy
a
as hell.
crazy
Yeah,
woman,
she is crazy
but
as hell.
yeah,
God, I love
crazy
her.
woman.
So then Elena finds Drew at her home. Brings up a couple of questions. First off, how did he get onto South Fork when the Sheik can't get on South Fork, but
I know,
Drew
that's
can
what I
just
was just thinking. Where is he coming from? Is he hopping fences? in the
maybe
back?
like he does know the place pretty well. Maybe he has a buddy there, somebody who let him on. I
He
don't
was
know.
in the armed forces because remember. Because for that one moment when he went into the box and there was the uniform
gun-
on top,
oh, yeah.
and I thought he was going to do something crazy.
I thought he was gonna kill himself.
Didn't he shoot somebody last year? Or like did he shoot somebody?
He did.
He did.
Or he was going. Yeah.
going
Or he
to.
saved somebody.
Yes.
Emma, I think.
I think it was one of them.
Yeah.
I remember. But we know he's a good shot.
We are super fans, you guys. We love everything about the show. We
There's
watch
so
every
much
episode
that
over and over
happens.
again.
It's hard to remember every
but
detail.
I got
Sorry.
but I did get a little worried because for drama and everything, sometimes we've seen with people like with their uniforms, that's what they. Yeah, I don't want to go to a dark place, so we won't go so dark.
But I'm afraid for him because especially now with Nicholas sending the cartel after him, I'm just afraid he's not going to be around that much longer.
I don't think he is either.
Which I think
they brought him on to kill him.
So unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the wrong people are going to kill him. And that'll send Elena back to the side of the Ewings because I think Trevino's going to kill him, or the cartel will, and that'll be because of Trevino, whether he's doing it like directly or not. That's what's going to happen, I think.
And then here's the thing: now that Trevino sent the text to Pamela,
yes,
she's gonna know that that's from him,
of course,
and that's gonna be it. And then the whole Drew thing that's gonna go down.
It's going to drive a wedge between them. I just wonder how much actually, because I don't ever like after we do these episodes, I don't like we'll go back and watch. I want to watch like the last 3 seasons of our episodes and realize like how much we talk out of our ass, like stuff we predict like this is what's going to happen, guys. It will happen like this, and then it never happens.
Well, I actually think some of the things we've talked about have actually happened.
you are both smarter than I am, so there's probably that.
That's interesting. I think I want to do the same thing.
John Ross, I'm not. John Ross gets a message to go to the front gate. Security lets him know there's somebody there to see him. It's the Sheik's son, Nasser. He gives him back the watch and tells him that, first of all, he tells him that his dad wants to do the deal now. Mm-hmm. And in that moment when he hands back the watch to John Ross, he's staring at him like he cannot escape his father. No matter what he does, he cannot escape his father.
What a great moment.
Yeah.
That was a great moment.
Yes.
I mean, you got to think like how awful and awesome at the same time would it be to be compared to someone that on one side you genuinely admire, was a great business person, and you see that, but on the other hand was so downright and dirty, treated you like crap,
was a scoundrel
for most of your life, that never showed you, you know what I mean? I feel like he's really split down the middle. He wants to be the buessman that his dad was, but his dad was pretty shitty.
He needs therapy.
So he really
Dr.
does.
Phil.
Yeah.
Then we've got, then Joaquin actually sends a video to Pamela. Hunter McKay is, we find out that he's brought into the picture to set up the shell companies. Trevino's children are threatened, though. When they go meet the drug cartel, these Mexican, people, the drug lords, but they're more than just drug lords. They're also, militant sort of something. I don't know.
They're a cartel.
Well, they're the cartel.
Yeah, they're cartel.
So they're
and
everything.
yeah.
They run things.
They
in
all
Mexico.
they run that shit?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they go to meet them in some dark alley. They've all got automatic weapons.
And isn't it the same cartel that's working with Ryland? It's the same people, right?
Yeah, because those
Yeah,
are the same
It's that same
people.
guy.
It's the mama-like people.
Yes.
Yeah, the mama-like people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
And Trevino's children are threatened. So then I'm like, okay, now is he really an enemy of the Ewings, or is he being played and being forced into this in some way, shape, or form?
And what I also noticed in that whole thing, it's also about taking Cliff Barnes down,
Yes.
too.
Yes, as well.
Which will bring, once again, full
Everything,
circle. Will bring Pamela back to the Ewings, because I'm sure there's going to be a break or something.
You know,
that she's going to find.
You know what will happen?
Yeah.
Cliff Barnes and his people will have to team up with the Ewings to take down the drug cartel. I think that's what's going on. I just made my prediction. There it is. Shit, there it went. Ignore that. Just hold on to that for another minute or two. No, I think that's what's going to happen, because now his children are being threatened, and that's just that's a no good, obviously.
Yeah.
But then he asks the cartel to look for Drew, which is scary. You don't want them looking for you.
Because you can't imagine they're really just going to look for him and, oh, we found him.
Yeah.
No.
And then let him go. No, they're going to find him, and they're going to kill him.
They are, and I'm afraid of that. And that's the episode. Thanks for stopping by. No. So really quickly before we go into our predictions, maybe this will lead us into predictions. It looks like next week there's a shooting, possibly.
Yes.
And it looks like there's a fire at South Fork.
And we see that Pamela catches them in the act.
Yes, it is Pamela the one doing the shooting. Let's make our predictions now. That's my prediction sound.
Your AfterBuzz TV.
Well, if they're gonna follow the whole Kristen, if Emma Bell really is Kristen,
End up face down in the pool.
end up face down in the pool, yeah. I don't think they're gonna kill her off though, because her character is way too good and brings spice to the
And
show.
she's like my most famous friend right now, so I hope they don't. Just kidding, they have way more famous
But
friends.
something's going to happen in that whole thing. But that wasn't my prediction. My prediction is, I think Trevino is going to do Drew in, and none of this was for him out of his love for the family and him being the kid from the street that they took in. It has nothing to do with that. He's there. Who do you think? Do you think he's the pawn for the cartel?
Trevino?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Kelly, what do you think?
I think
Because I have no effing clue what Dorinda thinks right now. I have no idea what she's talking about.
I think that Ryland's going to be the one to expose Nicholas because of his whole CIA thing with the cartel and like what he finds out. So I think he might be the one that finds that connection with Hunter, like with Nicholas and the cartel. And I think it's going to have something to do with Drew.
Here's what I think is going to happen next week. Ready? I think that Pamela is going to go after John Ross in a fit of rage to shoot John Ross and accidentally shoot Drew, who's going to be on South Fork doing some shit, which is going to draw a major rift between her and Elena. And then when Elena was trying to help her and save her from all this hurt, she's going to realize, like, you just shot my brother, you bitch. And it's going to bring them boom, boom, boom. And it's going to start some shit. I like to make up these plot lines. It could happen. And at the end, Victoria Principal is going to drive in and set the place on fire. That's where the fire comes from. You're welcome. Thanks for stopping by, you guys. Where can our listeners and our viewers follow you on social media, ladies?
You can follow me at Kelly with an IE079.
And then you can follow me at Twitter at Lula Cherry Films and on Instagram at Dorinda B1.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at _AJ Gibson. My website is ajgibson.tv. Please check that out. As always, thanks for stopping by, you guys. We'll be here next week for the finale of the first half of the season. Yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Exciting
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
Come back later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz y'all later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.